Hey YouTube, what is up? How is everybody doing today? I hope your days are going good and your lives are going even better than that. We are going to be jumping into the band known as Epica with a song called Tear Down Your Walls. I have heard the Holographic Principle album a fair bit, so this isn't going to be a straight reaction. It's going to be a more breakdown, tear down, whatever the fuck you want to call it, over like a straight first reaction. So it was requested by Redfield Universe on my live stream, and yeah man, we're gonna jump straight into it. I love the ravens in the background, it's so pretty. Before we go into that chorus, that was like 2 minutes of just pure epic goodness, man. I love the build up, like the opening to the song is one of my favourites from this album. The only other opening I love more is it Once Upon a Nightmare that's on this album? I think it is. It could be that one if that's on this album, but basically that's the only other opening that I love more than this, even if it's not on the same album. Out of all the epic songs I've heard in my life, like Once Upon a Nightmare is my favourite, and this is probably my second favourite in terms of the way that it's like opening. It's just so like fast and brutal and good. The only thing that I can say is that I think deathcore has spoiled my fucking brain, because like as good as Mark's vocals are in terms of his growls, like it sounds so plain compared to like a deathcore vocalist, but I'm just going to try to ignore that as this is just like symphonic and I need to get my brain outside of that deathcoreness. But so far, man, like it's just a pretty sick song. The opening is so sick. I fucking enjoy it so much. It's just Epica are one of those bands that I love to listen to when I'm traveling, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, when you're on a long journey and just want to chillax and listen to something. Like, that's my Epica times, mostly. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's okay then, man. At least it's not just me, but still. Then let's just go straight into lyrics before we get down to the chorus, man. Retrieve your sight, dazed by beliefs. You will not reach your shielded mind. So retrieve your sight. Don't be you were dazed by your own beliefs. You will not reach your shielded mind. As in, like, your mind is probably shielded from everything that you're actually meant to be able to see. Like, because a lot of us, when we look at the world, we don't see half of what we see. We don't even see what cats can see. So how the fuck do we know what we're actually seeing? Because just one of those things that you have no idea, like, what the world may actually look like compared to how animals see it, or other people can see it, or people with other awarenesses can see it. And it's just one of those crazy things to think about. But still, man. Oh, okay, yeah. A flash will completely fine, dude. Don't worry about it. Regain the light that once burned inside. Don't feed the shadows of your mind. Tear down your walls. So regain that light, regain that ability to think, that ability to regain the way that you're kind of processing everything. Don't feed the shadows, don't feed the depression, the darkness, the wanting to follow the sheep, that kind of thing. Go away from that point and just tear down all of those walls and let your mind expand and let your mind just go on to like a whole other way of thinking or a whole other way of looking at the world, the universe, all of that type of shit, man. Push your prejudice aside, burn trees of hate down to the ground. And that's all self-explanatory right there, man. But still, let's keep going. Man, the song is so deep in terms of like, it's like fast completely throughout basically the majority of the song. But like the actual song itself is very deep in terms of the way it's kind of very much a spiritual awakening in a sense. At least that's the kind of view that I'm getting from it. Like a lot of Epica, I know from like a lot of people have said different things about the way they experience Epica, but for me, it's kind of like listening to people who are trying to say, you need to open your minds and expand it and see the world for how it truly is. Because that's the kind of vibe that I've always gotten from them, and so yeah. So burn the trees right down to the ground, tear them down. Don't await a miracle, turn aims into action. So tear down those walls. Don't await a miracle to change your life for you. You need to turn all those aims of what you want to do into an action, into actually fucking moving along with your life. Seek what is right. We are the keepers of the sacred laws, for nothing escapes our sight. As in, like, they keep all those sacred laws, like, to them. The sacred laws? I have no fucking idea, mate, but, like, as in, like, they're watching over everything. That's obviously said underneath where Simone is... Was it the hologram theory? Yeah, I figured it was. Like, you know, just from, like, you know, the way the lyrics are. Like, I've, like, talked about the holographic theory with a few people, man. It's just, like... So, yeah, that's really cool. Like, I really love the hologram theory, you know, where, like, we're all just in, like, a huge simulation on that type of stuff. It seems very plausible to me, personally, but still... Retrieve your sight as dazed by fear. You will dismiss your inner guide. So yeah, retrieve your sight. Like, if you're fearing the world around you, if you're fearing everything about your life, how are you ever going to be able to find your inner self to tell you how to really think, how to really be your own person? How are you going to be able to open the gate? Like, how are you ever going to be able to face the prosecution? Like, you need to sentence your inner fear to death. As in, like, yeah, you need to actually, like, that inner fear needs to go away, because that fear is what holds so many people back from achieving their fucking dreams, for trying to do something they really want to try at. Or, like, you know, spending, let's say, thousands of hours making YouTube videos to try to, like, that possibility of people watching him on a live stream. And, like, you know, like, even if it's just, like, a few people, it's still, like, total insanity that you can actually do that and actually kind of succeed at that. And it's just like, you know, one of those crazy things that, like, you think, if you try, it's going to be hard, but the more you go, the more you kind of, like, find people who like watching you. So it's just, like, one of those sick things, to be honest. Like, push your bias to the side, burn trees hate down to the ground. So yeah, that's all self-explanatory. That's all. We've basically done that, and then we're basically to where we are now. Meronot said, I really need to get into Epica. I've heard a few songs, but they are one of those bands that I put to the side because when I dive in, I really want to dive in. Has Simone always been? Yeah, she has. Yeah. She's always been the female vocalist. It's always been Mark and Simone. Because, like, Mark came over from After Forever when Floor left and everybody left that band. And then he started Epica with Simone. From the very beginning. At least that's how I think it went, but still. Let's keep going. Shit, man. That's so cool. I know, yeah, Floor went After Forever, revamp, then Nightwish when Annette was... I think she's pregnant, wasn't she? Something like that. I think she got pregnant or something like that, and then they called Floor, was like, you need to come fill in. Like. But no, yeah, Epica have so much of a discography, man. It's so worth it, though. I'm trying to go for it. No, for me personally, like, Nightwish is, like, not my thing, especially with Floor. I loved Revamp era Floor, like, it goes Revamp, After Forever, then Nightwish is kind of down, like, in the barrel somewhere, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things, isn't it, but still. We have a bill right here, so align with me, melt light with darkness, make sure you won't die in the harness, do not fear the desire to leave your cage, so align with me, melt the light with darkness, make sure that you won't die within this harness, within this cage, within this fucking holographic thing that you're trapped in, that most of us are probably fucking trapped in for all I know. When the path is not so clear, walk without fear, trust within your inner guide, fly with me. We dominate illusions, we are bending the whole truth, as in, like, we dominate these illusions, we dominate these things that we're being shown, that are being broadcast, or whatever fucking, I don't know, like, I don't know if you guys know English comedy that well, but, like, you know, in Red Dwarf, where they're going to Better Than Life, it's kinda like that, man, but, yeah, that's just my total fucking nerd side coming out now, but, like, we are masters of the universe, the outcome is in our might, as in, because if this is just a whole fucking illusion, if this is a whole thing where it's, like, it's not real, then we are actually, this is basically just like a Matrix reality, you know, where we can basically twist and bend rules to kind of fit what we need to do with them, which is why some of us can achieve goals that we should never be able to do, or come from places very bad and go up to something very good, and like, it's also why people can commit such atrocities and just enjoy it, you know what I mean? Maybe it's also one big fucking illusion for all we know, but still, I don't know. It's just one of those fucking things, I guess, man, but still. This is such an awesome song. I fucking adore the Holographic Principle album. It's probably my favourite Epica album to date. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, man. This was awesome. Thank you so much for the request for Redfield. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night. And I will catch you guys in the very next video. Until then, take it easy.